What up YouTube, it's Misery Hates Company. In this video, we're going to be going over the very best builds for Black Widow. And we brought on none other than Kiger, who is a subject matter expert when it comes to Black Widow. He has some excellent insight, and I cannot wait for him to show us all the ins and outs of Black Widow. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and kick this over to Kiger, who is joining us to break down some of the best options for Black Widow. Kiger?
What's going on, guys? Kiger here. And today we're going to be talking about Widow. And anyone who's heard my name probably know I've been around on Widow for a while. And Misery reached out, and we want to tell you guys how you can accomplish big things with your Widow.
All right, awesome. Let's go ahead and kick it off with some stats.
Yeah, so as far as stats, Widow is kind of an interesting character, as her ultimate charges faster than all other characters, and it gives her automatic crit on the first hit. So crit damage being your number one stat you want to get. Defense Pierce if you're doing PvP game modes. She's a very interesting character as her offensive stats. She's like an assassin, obviously Romanoff from the movies and stuff, but she's very technical, which is why I like her so much. So your cooldown, ultimate, stamina, all become a very kind of have to work it, right? So like you can have as much cooldown as you want, but if you don't have the stamina to cast your skills, what's your cooldown doing?
That's true. So would you recommend pushing crit rate to cap, or what's a good floating spot for crit rate?
On par, you want your, even though she gets automatic crit rate, you still want it in the 50 plus range. As far as crit damage, I think 220 plus is a good break point.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I figured that'd be worth mentioning since, you know, characters like Star-Lord have that additional crit rate opportunity with the skills, so that makes sense.
As far as stats, like I said, you just have to do the stamina cooldown, kind of weighing your options.
Yep.
Something to keep in mind is the ultimate gauge recovery caps at 200%. And with Widow capped out at 200%, she gets an ultimate charge every 16 seconds.
Wow. Jeez. So if a dimension duel lasts long enough, you could do it several times.
Yeah, 5+.
Wow. That's annoying as a non-Widow. That's cool. All right, cool. So let's click it over to gear. Now, when we were kind of talking about this ahead of time, it seemed like there were some pretty solid options for both PvE and PvP. So let's start off with our special options. What do you think is the best option there?
Yeah, so Widow's a very interesting character, like I said. With some characters, there's flat-out bests across the board. With Widow, it's very PvE or PvP, just because of how a lot of her skills work. Eyes of Osiris being our best PvP mode, with Trap Expert being one of our best skills. Sticky Bomb version for 1v1, or Trap Deluge for group PvP. One of our best just across the board for PvP game modes. And for PvE, we have Rise of the East, because it's plus 14 on our snipe. I saw anyone who can look at Misery's last video on Magic will see 2 million damage.
Oh no!
On a single hit.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
we easily hit 6.
Oh, 6 million? Oh, that's... Oh, geez. I'm going to go delete that video now. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Okay, very cool. All right, so now we have... Sounds like a few different options for the best overall... Oh, geez.
Yeah, so with regional Widow's thing is her 3 set is either plus attack or plus crit damage.
I feel like I never noticed that there was additional attack additional flat attack. That's pretty cool.
Crit damage, like I said, you're trying to get as high as you can. So we're going to be looking at Sakar for our PvP for the same reasons as the specials. This is our 3-piece crit damage and espionage for the same reasons we took Eyes of Osiris. and then Megardia for PVE for the same reasons we took Rise of the East.
Awesome. All right. Now, for all of our free-to-play friendly friends out there, what would be some gear that you would give, or even just a new person to the game?
Yeah, so what I recommend is actually because of how they scaled the regional and specials. The specials are going to be hard for anyone to get, even if you're a spender. But with the changes to Battle Challenge, I think it is easy enough to jump on one of these regionals. But if you're hardcore wanting to not play a regional, Spacesuit, doing a Trap Expert for the same exact reasons as Eyes of Osiris. As I said, Trap Expert is our best skill for 1v1 or group PvP game modes. And for, excuse me, for PvE is Red Widow. Putting that snipe on +6.
Mm-hmm. And when I was making, I think it was Storm, she didn't have very many free-to-play options. So that's really cool that Black Widow has at least a couple free-to-play options that are non-regionals.
You have stuff you can really lean into.
For sure. All right, so let's go over to our skills. All right, walk us through our skills.
All right. So this right here is our PVE setup. Trained Assassin Quick Step Strike. This is a target off skill, so you can still be hit while you're doing it. You just cannot be targeted during it. A lot of bosses. This is our PVE game mode, and the main PVE game modes right now that people care about is the Invasion. This isn't specifically for Magnetos. This is across the board for all of them. So this does good damage across the board. The guard break's okay because each hit applies that medium guard break.
Oh, wow.
And it hits 4 times. Then we go on to our next skill, Explosive Grenade. You do a little backflip, which can be used to dodge scripted ground damage.
Oh, cool.
As you
Okay.
see, she does a backflip. You can use that to dodge while still hitting the opponent, keeping your damage over time up, as well as applying the burn.
I love
your
that.
Entire team 20% damage bonus.
Yeah, I love that when they add that kind of level of detail, that even though it's like a mechanic that's part of the skill, that you can use it for other in-game mechanics. I love that.
Every single move on this board moves her in some way.
Oh, that's fun. I feel like that also leaves a pretty high skill gap for PvP.
It does. So like, well, with PvE, it's so interesting because of that damage per second, right?
Sure.
People who've played World of Warcraft, other games like that, any second you're using to reposition or whatever, you're losing that damage per second, which we're trying to gain here.
All right,
so if we go to our,
I used to play World of Warcraft, and this was not part of this script at all. But that statement was very much that of a spellcaster. So I am going to guess you were a mage.
No, tank.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Very cool. My wife and I used to play back in college, and I was I'd just say rogue, because depending on whatever expansion it was whatever spec I was playing. And she was a hunter, so it was a good time.
Oh, there you go. But we have the one right here, Widowsting Concentrated Fire. So as you see, she does this like a back turn before firing. Like I said, every move here moves her in some way. But how all of her skills work, ones that have multiple hits, is that 909% damage is over the course of the 4 shots.
Okay.
But as you see, the first 3 shots are very quick, and the 4th one takes a second. So if for whatever reason the boss is stomping or whatnot, you can do the 1, 2, 3, and then tumble out of the way. You miss on a quarter of the damage, but you won't take damage from the boss.
Okay. Can you interrupt it, just out of curiosity? Like if you were to dodge?
Every single one of our skills you can interrupt.
I love that. All right, cool. All right, you're really getting me into Black Widow. I might have to work on my level 105.
Oh, it's usable.
Yeah.
Widow has 2 versions of this Widow Wire that's pretty interesting. The first version, which we're not using right here, but if you want to go ahead and pull it up, the first version on that skill list, Piercing Anker, very much Scorpion, get over here. Uh, but this requires a status effect. It requires guard break. Anyone
Oh.
who hasn't seen my video on that, um, guard. If you move the opponent at all, it requires guard break to do anything with that. So pulling them, while it is better than pushing you towards them, this will not hit as its lowest guard break, and they need to be guard broken to even move them. But we can also see the damage goes up by about 50% with knee dive, and this really helps. It's medium guard break, which one of our highest ones that we're using right here, which helps with interrupting boss skills, things like that, staggering, and then it 500% damage, nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. Last but not least for this one.
Last but not least, big boy damage.
Oh yeah.
So this becomes a pretty much a combo skill. As you see, you do the tumble back and then take the fire. It's about 1,000% damage. So
Yeah, I just have a little
here,
Black Widow, so it's not even maxed out. Only at level 11. So I'm sure it does well over 1,000.
So the combo here is we use the second skill, explosive grenade, and then while that animation's happening, while you're doing the backflip, you hit the invisibility from your ultimate, which immediately cancels the animation but allows the damage to keep going through.
Okay.
And then you immediately click the snipe, so she doesn't have to do this tumble backwards for the snipe. She just squats straight down and then takes fire.
Interesting. Okay. I love it.
So you have the burn for 20% bonus damage. We have some specializations, which we'll go over for other percentages on top of percentages. And then her ultimate, which is a, 38.2% bonus damage with an automatic crit on the snipe.
Very cool. All right. So we're going on to the next one. We said this was our Dimension Duel skill setup.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, we use most of the same skills as the first one, but they're all different versions.
Yeah.
So right here, trained assassin, exploit weakness. This is something that I have an issue with the whole Netmarble thing. Is they do some really awesome stuff in the game, but they just don't tell you.
What's it for this one?
So like in the one we used before, trained to quick step strike, it also says untargetable during the skill.
Oh yeah.
And exploit weakness, it says untargetable, but this is a true iframe.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah.
You can throw any skill you want at me, but if I click exploit weakness while your attack's in the air, nothing happens.
Which is weird, because if you watch the animation of quick step strike, it feels like that one should have it, because you're basically going invisible several times.
Agreed, and it's also 18 seconds versus 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So in PvP, you have the 5-second cooldown. Every time it's up, you're able to ignore a skill that's coming at you. Once you have your cooldown up, you're looking at 2.5 seconds.
Jeez.
You're just always clicking this ability.
Yeah.
And you'll even see it with the abilities we have here. Every single move we're using moves us in some way. So explosive expert, flare grenade, blind. This requires status effect accuracy, not guard break, because you're not moving them in any way.
Okay.
It does okay damage. Especially if you are Eyes of Osiris, it's going to hit like a truck.
Oh yeah.
But you're throwing it blind for 3 seconds. During that time, you can do some big hits, and then we lead into my favorite, Sticky Bomb.
Okay.
We're back to playing.
Oh, I know this skill.
Oh yeah, this is set it and forget it.
Yep.
It has a pretty long range. It's deceptively long from what it shows in the animation. It's like about a third further out that you can actually click the skill. And
I hate this skill.
She does the same backflip, and then, like I said, set it and forget it.
Mm-hmm.
You throw it, you toss it, and then you walk away, and then you let them take all the damage.
So one thing I'm already noticing in this rotation or this build, if you will, is that the required stamina is a lot lower. So I meant to ask in the first one for PVE.
On the first one, I think it comes to 98.
Okay.
If you want to all 5 skills.
26, 12, 38. Where am I at?
Mm-hmm.
69.
That's the biggest one right there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God, math. 84.
18. Mm-hmm.
And then that's gonna put you over 100.
Oh, it's because of the snipe, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit over 100.
Sure.
So if you sparse out your skills,
Yep.
you should be able to do it just fine.
Okay. Whereas this one feels like you have which one was I on? This one feels like you don't have any you're not starving for stamina at all, this build. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. Just
Especially
always
with low
clicking.
cooldowns.
Always clicking a button.
Always clicking. Right.
Then we have double shot. I will address the elephant in the room. Double shot did quote unquote get nerfed.
RIP.
So it says 490% damage on the screen. It's supposed to be 245 on the first hit, 245 on the second hit. It was doing 490 and 245. Now it's doing 245, 245. We're using this in Dimension Joel just because it's the 10-second cooldown, and there's some companions and things like Hulk or summons that allow you to hit them while also hitting the Hulk.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, Hulk is a beast right now.
So double shot allowing you to target their Hulk, but also hitting them in the back is very much Widow. What she's trying to do. Frag bullets, one of my favorites in the game. So if you take a look at the animation, she does a tumble and then fire. What I like about this one is it tracks. So if I click this button, it's going to hit you.
Oh wow, okay.
It's going to hit you no matter where you go, where, Snipe should do that, but if you lazily move to the left, I'm going to miss you on Snipe.
Okay.
With frag bullets, you can dash across the board, double dash, you can dash teleport with magic. It's coming after you.
Interesting. Okay. I feel like I actually don't see that many Black Widows running this in Dimension Duels, at least against me as a magic, and I definitely feel like they should.
They don't like the windup of the skill.
Sure.
But the idea is you're only using it out of invisibility.
Yeah.
Or while they're blinded, so the windup doesn't matter.
Yeah, for sure. And with everything else, it's very situational. You don't have to use it as like part of your core rotation because probably by the time you're done with your fourth skill, this first one's coming off cooldown already.
You're only ever clicking the first 3 skills unless something special's going on.
I love that. That makes sense. Cool. Okay. So going on to our last skill build, group PvP.
So, this is group PvP for Omega War, Alliance Omega War. Several of the skills are the same with some minor adjustments. Number 1, number 2, and number 4 are exactly the same.
Okay.
So we'll go over number 3 and number 5. Number 3, so this is a guilty pleasure of mine.
Oh gosh, look at that.
Well, I can tell you, mine is not Eyes of Osiris, but just with the regional bonus, it's 518% damage.
Oof.
So you literally appear in a group of people with Trap Deluge, with the invisibility.
Yep.
And then you go Trap Deluge,
and it crits.
double shot,
Jeez.
and then you're just across the board wasting people.
Oh, that's awful. That's awful in the best way possible.
My best in Omega War is a 5 kill with
I bet. For sure. Okay.
The last one, number 5, is specifically so we use this in the PVE game mode.
Yep.
But this is specifically for Omega War, Alliance Omega War, because some widows have issues with flyers. If you aren't aware, in Dimension Duel, the ceiling is about half of Omega War. So what you can do with Widow is dash, jump, double jump, but in Omega War, you still can't reach the ceiling.
Oh wow!
But when you dash, jump, double jump, you can knee dive the entire grasp of the ceiling.
Okay. It's a great gap close too, even if you don't need to catch anyone in the sky. Just if someone's trying to run away, they're not getting away.
Now, something to keep in mind with this is Widow is a very dynamic sky-based fighter.
Sure.
So knee dive puts you in the air, but as you would expect, snipe, you can't click snipe while you're in the air.
Sure.
Because just with her animation, you have to like aim the gun or whatever, and every single skill on this rotation can be used in the air. I've had fights with Spider-Man where I've had 20 seconds of me not touching the ground.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's kind of wild if you think about it. 20 seconds. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm just in the air. Shout out to the Spider-Man I did it with, DJ Roast Beef on
Nice.
Omega Flight. He was in our base. He was really hard to hit, and he's just clicking all of his dodges and stuff. And I'm just quick step strike, knee dive, just using these abilities with their cooldowns in such a way that I'm always moving my character and moving in the air, kind of like a Dragon Ball Z episode.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a great metaphor. I love that. All right, awesome. Let's jump over to specializations.
All right. So Widow has a very eclectic thing here. So if we want to do the PVE first, your best thing that you can do is the two bottom right ones, the red one and the purple.
Okay.
The red one giving you crit damage if you have the two deadly aim skills, which we do on our list. This comes out to roughly 30% extra crit damage, and then Fatal Strike next to it. You break the crit cap, so with this you can have a 350% crit damage.
Oof. Oh boy! All right, so now I believe that 6 mil that you said earlier. I believe it.
Well, I mean, if we can just literally crit higher than everyone else in the game, why not, right?
Why not double it?
Well,
so what's this at cap? Do you know offhand?
Oh, this is the cap. It doesn't give you anything. It says increase max.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. But at level 10, it's 50. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Got it. Cool. All right, where are the next two?
The yellow in the middle left. If they're under 50% HP, 25% bonus damage.
Your execute skill, sure.
Percentages on percentages on percentages.
Oh yeah.
And then straight up the red one. If they're a mobile or status effect, 30% bonus damage.
30.
So
jeez.
What we're doing here is PVE. We're using Trap Deluge, which does the so we have two things. We have the explosive grenade, which is obviously burn.
Yep.
So burn is 20% damage bonus, but because they're burning, we do another 30%.
And then if they're below 50% health, oh man, that's broken.
We do 25, and then we have 300%, 350% crit damage.
Oh, that's
with
disgusting.
Auto crit. Yes.
Oh jeez, it's a savage combo.
With 38% on top of that, it's just percentages on percentages on percentages.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
Going on into our Dimension Duel, we're still going to use that top left one.
Okay.
Subdue the red one on the top left. That's our most important one for PvP. For Dimension Duel, it's our number one because Sticky Bomb, set it and forget it. Each tick of Sticky Bomb, they are shocked. So each tick is doing 30% more damage.
Oh wow. Oh man. Okay. Love that.
Next, right next to it, on the left, the orange, 18%, damage from nearby enemies.
Yeah.
It doesn't say it, but this works as melee damage decrease. They updated the in-game information for melee and range damage decrease to what I speculated them to be, and it's 4 meters is the difference between melee or ranged.
Okay. Interesting.
So if I'm hitting you within 4 meters, it's considered melee.
Sure.
If I'm hitting you outside of 4 meters, it's considered ranged.
Huh. Good to know. There you go. Bonus tip. Very good.
Then we're going to use what you call it. So this one is where it depends on where you're at Widow.
Mhm.
If you're struggling to keep up as one of those free to play or low spenders, then we go to the bottom left green.
Yep.
Uh, because this
Okay.
gives us 30% PvP, increased PvP damage. This is specifically PvP increase. So if you're already at cap, this won't do anything.
Right.
And you ask yourself, what close quarter combat skill are we doing? Exploit weakness is our close quarter combat skill. It has a 5-second cooldown. So every 3 dashes you can use it, and it lasts 10 seconds with a 15-second cooldown. So it's up 66% of the time. But if you have enough PvP increase and don't use this, and then use the yellow one slightly above that to the left.
Mhm.
Um,
Right. Okay.
so as we said, this also rolls into that sticky bomb. So if I throw a sticky bomb at you and you're at 50%, it's doing 25% bonus there, as well as they're shocked. So you're doing
Oh, sure.
30% from subdue up at the top.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, those are
So
some nice stacking.
each proc of the sticky bomb is just chunk, 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 chunk.
See, that's what I
Eh,
actually love about like Storm. So I was playing around like leveling up my Storm, and all of her specializations like blend very well together. It seems like this is definitely the case for Black Widow. For Magic, I mean, it's just kind of, you don't have all that flexibility. You have like 3 that you have to use, and then you could throw the other one depending on what you're doing wherever you want to. But I love how it goes with the play style. It gives you a lot of flexibility. Given it's expensive to have that amount of flexibility and the maximal out, but still, if
move
you're
them around.
yeah, and if you're maining them, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I love it. Cool.
We get the middle top right purple speck.
Oh, yep.
So this is disguise tactics. 2 seconds after you die, you come back with 30% HP,
Oh
and you are
gosh.
invisible. Uh,
So does that work in Dimension Duel?
yes.
Oh
So
my
the
goodness.
issue is it does have a 10-minute cooldown.
Sure.
What you can do is you have 2 other ways of refreshing it. So either you can queue back into Dimension Duel and lose, and it resets the
Mm,
cooldown, or you can just die in the open world and it resets the cooldown.
interesting. I kind of like that you don't. All right, I'm sorry. I kind of don't like that you have to do that. In my opinion, it should just reset for Dimension Duel, but maybe keep that cooldown for Omega War. Because that's probably the intent, is to keep it so like in a long battle, you're not just doing it over and over. I have never seen a Dimension Duel take 10
And
minutes.
Omega War and stuff, it makes sense
Right.
because you don't want every time I spawn, I have 2 lives.
Exactly.
But I think in Dimension Duel, it should just be a thing.
Yeah, that should just be a quality of life change for you guys as Black Widows. That seems a little unnecessary to have to go out into the open world and die just to reset a cooldown.
Now, I have 2 honorable mentions here.
Sure.
One is playing off of the one that we just had up, the revive, because it brings you back at 30%, right?
Hmm.
So this is as I said, I'm a technical player. This is a very technical thing. Is you don't max out that purple one, and you leave it at 9 out of 10.
Ooh, okay.
And why I say that is that leaves you specifically under 30% HP for the top middle green one.
Ah, oh no. Okay, interesting.
50%
Wow, that's 5 head
dodge
right
gauge
there.
recovery if you're
Yeah.
under 30%.
Okay, that makes sense.
This is one that I like to play around with. I only use this one if I want to get a term I like to use, sweaty. Um,
Yeah.
if I'm getting in there and I just want my high octane,
Mm-hmm.
high it's very Widow. So like
Sure.
Widow's very much
Crafty.
uh she's very very squishy.
Yep.
But if you play her right, you have big rewards.
Sure.
This falls right into that play style.
Absolutely.
Of I am low HP. Let me see how long I can survive while low, and play this balance.
That sounds fun.
Um,
That sounds like a lot of fun.
the last one is the middle right green ability, and single target damage by 21%.
Okay.
So what this means is if your ability hits one target, all of her abilities are AoE attacks.
Right.
But if your ability only hits one target, 21% damage. So this works really well with Sticky Bomb, obviously,
Sure.
because it hits one target.
Yep.
But the reason why I'm not currently using this is the elephant in the room, Hulk.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Good
All of my
point.
other abilities hit multiple targets, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But if Hulk's standing there,
Okay.
I can't just hit one target.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
I used it every time in Dimensional, and I can't anymore.
It's got a big green thing in the way.
Let me change. Yeah, because then this literally does nothing as long as
Oh
Hulk's
man.
there.
Wow. Way to just take away a whole spec trait. Okay.
He did that to me.
That sounds
But
expensive.
yeah, across the board with specializations, you have a lot of options. With Widow, you have some for the earlier players who don't exactly have their cards and stuff up.
Sure.
With the bottom left PvP increase, but as you scale into the more late game as a bigger player, you're able to go into the higher game stuff of increasing crit damage cap and 350% crit damage.
Love it. Okay. Awesome. Wow. That was very informative, and I feel like I definitely understand Widow just the slightest bit better now. All right, let's see. Yeah, enhanced potential. Okay, let's touch on this real quick for our new players
These are
or
gonna be some.
anyone
These
switching
are
to
gonna
it.
be some quick hits.
Yep.
The first level on all the characters is 15 per upgrade. This is the best bang for your buck you'll ever get. We're instantly going to pick up attack and then come back for defense and HP. And once we get the important ones from the next ones, onto the second one. Always going to pick up attack. Just pick the whole thing up,
Mm-hmm.
and then in PvP we'll pick up accuracy rate if we want to focus for PvP. Widow is very good at PvP, so it's usually going to be one that you lean towards. And ultimate gauge recovery will be great in all game modes.
Okay.
So we're always going to pick up ultimate gauge, pick up accuracy if you want to go into PvP.
Got it.
Then the next one, just everything across the board, and I'm pretty sure the
That's
fourth
good.
one is the exact same.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Very cool.
So that it's kind of rough for Widow for
Sure.
potential, because I've done it for all the characters, and a lot of them it's like you only have to pick one
Yeah.
from the list as you go up.
Yep.
And then it's like pick them back up as you do it. But as I said, the third and fourth tree are exactly the same.
And they're expensive that high up too, so that's gonna take a while to max out. I'm assuming you have all this maxed out, right? For yours?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The last one
Yep.
is very different than some characters.
Oh yeah.
So what they did across the board is like some characters that didn't have accuracy rate, they gave them accuracy rate just so they have some version of it.
Sure.
They used this fifth slot to kind of even out a bunch of the characters. The Widow is just attack, defense, HP.
Mhm.
So you would get all the important stuff we talked about, then go back, fill out the first line. Master Spy number 1, just fill that out.
Yep.
And then you come back to number 5 and fill that out.
Okay. Makes sense. I actually kind of love your 3 and 4. I assume between the two, you'd probably, based off your comments, you would max crit damage first if you needed to really min-max it, and then come back to crit rate.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Makes sense. All right, cool. Now, for anyone who has lasted this long in the video, make sure you smash the like button on the video, because obviously you like the video enough to stay this long, but also make sure you just pause the video for a second, go down into the description below, and smash that sub button on Kyger's channel, because he's given us some top level opinions and insight on Black Widow. Now, let's also get a little bit more into companions, because that's where I think it could get a little spicy. So what's your intake on that?
Companions are one of my favorite things in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and why I say that is I feel them as a 6th skill.
Agreed.
On your skill slot. Some people you always have the argument that they don't want companions in Dimension Duel because Hulk and stuff going on, but there's some interesting things with Widow.
Okay.
So let's take a Spider-Man matchup for example. Spider-Man will do the web swing where he swings and smacks you with his web. Widow is kind of a sitting duck during that time because you don't have a target you can dash towards with exploit weakness and take no damage. But if they're playing with Hulk, you can just abuse the green boy and you don't take damage.
Okay. Okay.
So that just helps you deal with Hulk.
Makes sense.
For some PVE stuff, we have some really cool options here. So with the specials, Thor can actually be a okay PVE option.
Oh,
Just
sure.
because you hit your shock skill, you
Mm-hmm.
hit Thor. Thor does a big AOE shock damage, and it's decent for the PVE AOE.
Sure. Makes sense.
Now, what I really like the most about these ones is we got Scrag, which is a rare, whose 5-star bonus. She gives you guard damage when she's on your board. Not necessarily your summon, but just having her there. Um, you see guard damage right there. Um, you, what that is
Oh, and crit
you got the
damage.
4 slots. You have the 4 slots. The top one is your summon. The 3 are there for bonuses. Scrag is there for your bonus guard
Okay.
damage for like Magneto.
Sure.
Um, it's not across the board on all PVE game modes, but it just with this last invasion, I used Scrag quite a bit.
Yep.
Gilgamesh, having him on your board as you do right there on the right.
Mhm.
If you look at his 5-star bonus, super villain damage.
Oh yeah.
That's your PVE number, right?
Oh man, what a missed
Uh,
opportunity for that 6-star one melee damage decrease.
I mean, it's fine with Widow because you can use all your skills within the melee range.
That's true. That is true. There you go. Silver lining.
As far as PvP,
Uh
we have some really interesting options. We have Daredevil, Icarus,
Yep.
Ultron. All of them have their pros and cons. Um, I go back and forth between Icarus and Ultron. Icarus is really interesting because he, as you scale him up, I have his move at 12 out of max
Mm-hmm.
on his skill.
Sure.
12 out of 15.
Yeah. What does
And
that
that's
look like?
doing 1700% damage.
Oof. Jeez.
Now, here's also a bonus fact. Icarus does a charge at you and then a beam.
Yep.
If I'm in Dimension Duel and using that on you, you can dodge or whatever, or Storm can bubble, what have you. But if I Widow go invisible and then cast Icarus, you don't have a target to dodge or bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So Icarus can just do his whole thing on you. And also, because of my damage boost, 38% and auto crit, 1700% auto crit.
Whoa. Oh no. It works on Icarus. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh
All of
jeez.
companions go off of your stats.
Sure.
So if we look at Gilgamesh that you
Yep.
have on your board right there, look at his skill. It's a highest guard break. So that's 5% base guard damage, and it scales off of your guard damage.
Oh my god.
All of companions scale off of yours.
Huh.
Just like that 1700%, 500% damage right there
Yeah,
has
yeah.
to scale off of something, right?
Sure. Yeah. That's fair. Yep. Good point. Wow. Very cool.
The companions are very, very interesting.
They are.
We have tons of options here. You can even go as far as, like I said, Daredevil. You have it on your board right there.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at his 5-star bonus, is accuracy.
Sure.
So just having him on your board can increase your accuracy.
Yep.
There's
Good damage.
there's a lot. I'm kind of upset they put this snuck that away on the 5-star and 6-star bonuses.
Yeah.
But I really, really love the mix match you can do with these companions.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was a little worried when they first came out that they were just going to be like an added grind, and then they added just more and more. And the more they add, the more it just adds different tiers of strategy into the game. I do like that. Even though Hulk is just kind of a big old beast right now, and at
I
least
just wish they weren't hidden behind the 5-star and 6-star bonuses.
yeah, absolutely, could not agree more. Oh yeah, I mean as a magic main, this HP and attack looks juicy. But yeah.
Oh, that as well as Mordu.
Yep.
Mordo.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just got him to 4 stars actually.
His is
Defense
HP and
HP.
defense.
Yep. Oh, just that 6 stars. It's gonna take so long to get to. I don't even think I'm close. Yeah, not at all.
All right, guys. That's Widow. There's a lot there. There's a lot of tips and tricks that I can give you. You'll get that over on my channel.
Absolutely.
But as far as a quick start guide, this wasn't very quick, but I think you know why we chose the things we did.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Kiger, for joining. Again, his link to his account is down below in the description. Smash the like on this video. Smash the subscribe on his channel because he gives you all the in-depth content. Until next time, guys, see you later.